I could be wrong, but I don't think the biggest problem with the Rabbit R1 is that it doesn't work. I don't think the biggest problem is that I can't order a pizza or a ride, or that I can't generate images or play music without a subscription. I don't think the biggest problem is that I can only use Spotify, DoorDash, Midjourney, and Uber with this today. I don't think the biggest problem is that my little Tamagotchi takes a long time to respond. Nor is the biggest problem the ridiculous inaccuracies, like these olives are potatoes. I don't even think it's a major problem that it requires the internet, and I don't think that the slow or flaky connections are the biggest issues. There are a ton of bugs, and I don't blame the company for releasing the product that way. I don't even blame them for releasing the Rabbit with about 1/8 of the demonstrated features working. They haven't even provided a timeline to come back with all these features, and in fact, still call the most important feature experimental. The problems go on, but they aren't the big one. The speaker, it's on the back, and that makes it sound muffled on the wrong surface. The camera, it only points out. The scroll wheel, it barely works. And the screen isn't a touch screen all the time. Bluetooth has been a struggle. I can't send messages. I can't make video calls or calls. I can't save images or responses or anything that I generate. I can't save notes properly. And it responds to me that it's saving a note when I'm not even telling it to do that. But I've said the word note. Read me a note.
Saving your note.
It's a dumb, bug-filled, weak sauce, generative AI device, and although it looks pretty, there aren't many redeeming features. But none of this is the biggest problem. To me, the biggest problem is you and I. And given the shirt I'm wearing, I blame myself much more for this than I blame any of you. I'm the one who bought this stupid thing, and I'm here making a video about it. I think I fell for the same thing that we're all falling for. We're falling for the promises. We're falling for an exciting presentation with the promise of a future. And it's because we want that future so much. We want it to be better, not just for us, but for our kids and for the future of the world. But we're all falling for this in the world of tech, and it needs to stop. This is not a device fit for a consumer at all. It's not even executing well on the basics, let alone any of those pending future features. So how does this come out like this? Somewhere along the line, an aggressive CEO and an aggressive set of investors decided that they needed to release a product so they could bring in some money and prove out this tech and this research that they were doing. But this release is a grab, not just for money, but for data, for learning and for understanding what it is you and I want as consumers. So instead of properly developing a product, testing it for years, and then releasing it, I now have what is essentially an orange brick with a ton of tech packed into it. It's likely to end up in a landfill. People are already coming out saying, don't buy it. There's a ton of reviews out there that say that. So unless they continue to fund it on the back of promised features, using you and I as a guinea pig, and with the backing of some, let's be honest, very understanding investors, it's just a big piece of e-waste. But the biggest problem for all of us is that we keep buying this stuff. It's not ready. Consider how many products you have bought with the promise of a better future, only to get the exact opposite in return. Thanks for watching us here on Automate Your Life. I'm Brian, and I'm asking you to live smart. What is this?
Let me see. This appears to be a thermostat or temperature controller device. The image shows a circular interface with a power button and some other controls, likely for adjusting the temperature setting.